Kevin McCloskey, Ricky Portella coming to you on Halloween night here from Northeast Guilford. Final score, Western Alamance 34, Northeast Guilford 7. The rain has started to fall. It's a cold rain. Thankfully, we made it through the game. Ricky, this was a little bit of a stiffer battle, probably a little closer than the score would indicate.
Well, you know, this is one of the games as a coach you just dread, because you're playing a team that's won one game this year, and that was a close game to McMichael. No disrespect to McMichael, but their program has struggled over the last several years. So you're coming into a game. It's an important game, yet we're talking about 16-year-old boys, young men, and so the worries are that your players won't get up. I thought we came out with a little bit of intensity first series or two, and then we sort of dropped it a little bit, and then the hormones or whatever kind of got in the way, and so the game probably was a little bit closer than Coach Snuff would have liked it, but we'll take it.
Yeah, you talk about the hormones. There was a lot of adolescent, I would say, chippiness on both sides there, especially at the end of the first half. Things got out of hand a little bit. Thankfully, it didn't flare up too bad in the second half. You're right, the Western, in contrast to last week, we got out of the gate very quickly, scoring quick. We went up, 20-0 or 20-7 very quickly. We struggled right at the end of the first half. We missed a golden opportunity, got down to the 1.5-yard line with 5 seconds to go. No timeouts. We couldn't punch it in. That kind of hurt us. Second half, third quarter, Northeast Guilford dominated for the most part, but they couldn't put any points on the board. Then finally a big play by Casey Okoronkwo, a pick six, really got Western, put it away, and Bellamy did the final honors on the last play.
Well, we persevered, and our defense just kind of, we had a strategy, and that was to plug up the middle. And when we forced their quarterback to make some poor decisions, and Casey was in the right place at the right time, and then we had some good blocking and took it in for 6. Big play for Casey. Casey's been a staple back there this year, so I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, me too. We're going to try and get an interview with him after the game. In case you guys didn't know it, Northeast Guilford this week, their coach resigned early in the week, about Tuesday, and they have an interim head coach. Their offensive coordinator took over. We didn't know how that would play out tonight. Tonight's their senior night. It's also their homecoming. It was all this stuff rolled into one. The players seem to rally around the new coach. They've got some big athletes out there, and you wonder, it's kind of like Eastern Guilford. It's a matter of time before they put it together. They got some talent here.
Well, typically Northeast Guilford's had talent, and for those listening that remember back several years ago, we used to have some pretty tough games with Northeast Guilford, always playing for the conference championships or whatever. They have fallen by the wayside. Hopefully this interim coach will be made head coach. The players will rally behind him. The JVs had some good-looking athletes last night. Northeast Guilford's team did. So hopefully they can turn things around and put this program back where it was several years ago.
Yeah. Big play in our first half. I failed to mention earlier. I actually almost quit filming because a flag was thrown. But Trey hit Britton on a beautiful 75-yard strike down the field. It was just absolutely perfect. And thankfully, the flag was on Northeast Guilford, so that play is going to stand in the highlight reel.
Well, and Britton had 2 catches in the first quarter for 100 yards. So that was off to a really good start for him, and we were able to put him away.
Yeah. Okay, so E-Man got a pick in late in the game. I think it's his first of the year. He was some kind of excited because he's been close a lot of times. So another good game by E. Where we go from here, next week, senior night, at home, obviously, of course, against McMichael. Ricky, you mentioned earlier McMichael's struggling this year. I don't know what they did tonight, but, honestly, it's a game the Warriors should win. Right now, this is all speculation, folks, all speculation, but it looks like we're going to be in a 5-6 seed and going into the playoffs. We'll get a first-round game at home if everything holds. So that's what we're looking at going forward, so we need a big turnout next week.
We do. It is senior night. We have a special group of kids. Please come out and watch these kids play maybe not their last game, but their last regular season game at the reservation, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
So the rain's picking up, so good night from Halloween. We're going to try and grab a couple of guys for interviews, Kevin and Ricky P. We'll see you next week.